Today, our scriptures reteach a lesson, one that I believe we knew from childhood, but I think we've forgotten as adults. Now, think of something that you really wanted as a child, something that was reasonable too, like maybe a new pair of shoes, or a baseball glove, or a watch. We always went to the parent that we knew was easiest, didn't we? The one we thought that would say yes to our request. Mine was my mom. Hey, Mom, I was thinking, if I got a new baseball glove and didn't have to use my old worn-out one, I'd probably get really good. And I know you want me to succeed and do my best, so what do you think? How about we go to the store and get a new one? Now, Mom, I promise I'll take real good care of it, not like feeding the dog or taking him for a walk. I promise, Mom. Can we? Can you see little Mark asking that? And when she told me no, the first thing I did was say, hey, Dad, I asked Mom if I get a new baseball glove, and she said I should ask you. Notice it wasn't, Mom said no, I just went to Dad. We didn't take no for an answer, did we? We asked, but when we didn't like the answer, we asked again. We knew that if we were persistent, eventually we'd get the response that we wanted. But I think we forget that with God. One of the surprising things in today's gospel is that Jesus seems to ignore the Canaanite woman. It's easy to feel like God ignores our prayers, isn't it? Jesus finally says to her, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, a seeming no answer. But she persists. And then Jesus tells her that it's not right to take the food of the children and give it to the dogs. Dang, he sounds harsh, doesn't he? Yet this gospel is not about Jesus teaching us with his words. It's about her response to Jesus. That's our lesson. The Canaanite woman was an outsider. She wasn't Jewish, so she had no claim on Jesus. Yet she did have one thing that mattered the most. She had complete trust in him. Notice she doesn't argue. She doesn't become offended. She doesn't storm away. She doesn't give up. She falls at his feet and says, Lord, help me. Now, did you know that psychologists say that if you need help and you use the words help me somewhere in your sentence, you're more likely to get a satisfactory response? People naturally want to feel useful and act in a way that matches how they see themselves. Why not God, who sent his Son to be fully human? Once upon a time, a young boy was trying to move a large rock in his backyard. He pushed it, kicked it, pulled it, even tried a stick to use as a lever. His father was watching him from the porch. Finally exhausted, the boy shouted, Dad, I've tried everything. His father smiled. No, you haven't. What do you mean? You haven't asked me. Together, they moved the rock easily. How often are we like that little kid, struggling with family problems, illnesses, financial concerns, grief, temptation, and yet we try every solution we can think of and forget to say, Lord, help me. We knew this as children, being persistent, but we need to relearn it as adults. That's the lesson of the scriptures today. Many of us have prayed for something that seems to go unanswered. Perhaps it's for a child who left the church, a spouse's health, a broken relationship. What is it that we need? Not something frivolous like winning the lottery or something like that, although that would be fun, but what is it? What have we asked from God and given up? I ask you to call to mind that prayer now. Reminds us to keep asking. Her confidence isn't in her request, in her prayer. It's in Jesus. It's in a loving God. Sometimes God delays not because he loves us less, but because he's deepening our faith. And if we've stopped saying our prayer, our faith has stopped growing. Remember this: a delayed answer is not always a denied response. The Canaanite woman also teaches us the lesson of humility. She isn't demanding. She isn't entitled. She simply trusts. That's how we should approach God at every Mass. None of us deserves the Eucharist. None of us deserves Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, but he did it anyway. Every time we receive communion, then, we echo the centurion's words, "Lord, I am not worthy to have you enter under my roof." Like the Canaanite woman, we need to come to God as beggars. Today, he asks each one of us, will you trust me, even when my answer seems delayed? Will you continue praying when you don't immediately see results? Now think of your prayer again. What do you need from God? Ask God again, and remember, a delayed response is not a denied response.